Hello and welcome back to the channel, D-MANTV. I'm your host, D-Man. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Help the channel grow on that. Be much appreciated. If you like the content, share with your people, man. Share with your people. But yeah, let's get into it. Newcastle got their first win of the season, beating Wolves 1-0. Much needed win. And like I said before, our season officially started. You know, we've had the good performances. The points don't reflect it. Unlucky against Liverpool, whatnot. But we have been playing without a recognised striker. I know Asula's been there, but we know he's not ready yet. But this day was all about our big new signing, Big Nick, yeah, Voltamada. Debut goal, great performance, and to top it off with the 3 points. Now, I need to know what you guys think about his overall performance. Were you happy? Is things he could improve on? Does it give you confidence going into the rest of the season, or this first chunk of season for the next international break? We've seen the news about Johan Visser, unfortunately injured on international duty. There was rumours that it was a serious one, his knee injury. It's come out he's out for what, next 4 to 5 weeks or maybe 6 weeks, so he's going to miss up until the next international break basically. So we're going to be heavily reliant on Big Nick and maybe Asula, but listen, it is what it is. We wish him a speedy recovery and look forward to his return and him to get going. But before we talk about going to depth about the headline grabber, yeah, have to give a few props to a few people. First of all, the defense, right? Because that's what, 3 clean sheets in 4 games, I think it is. So we're looking defensively solid. Got a great foundation to build on. The back line seems very secure. We're not giving away too many gilt-edged chances. Yeah, something to build on, because a lot of people are raving about the fact that we're now got the win and stuff like that. But if you look at it, we have been playing well. We've looked defensively solid, and we have to give props to the defense, the defensive coach Eddie Howe, and how he set the team up. So yeah, there's something to build on, definitely. And obviously, we haven't seen the likes of Malik Chow or Sven Botman properly. So the options, and we've got Tino's come at right back, Lewis Hall at left back. So it's looking good, looking good. And I have to talk about Nick Pope as well, because I have been heavily critical of him. We know he lacks ability with his feet, but he is a very good shot stopper, and we needed him to show that early on. I think he made 2 very good saves in the first minute. Had he not made them, it could have been a long afternoon, yeah, and it could have been an embarrassing defeat. So credit to Nick Pope. He has started the season pretty well. Like I said, 3 clean sheets in four games, nothing to be sniffed at. So credit to him. He's our number one. Ramsdale will get his opportunity as the season goes on, but for now, the trust is in Nick Pope, and he's repaying that trust. So yeah, props to him. Now, let's be honest, it wasn't the greatest of performances. Wolves did show us a few problems early on. I think once we settled into the game, we kind of dominated. We created some good chances in that first half. Murphy, who I thought was really good, obviously got the assist, but he was I think he came close a couple of times. Could he have done better with the close range shot, or was it a great save? I'll leave it up to you to decide. But he's getting into the right areas, and he wasn't just hugging the touchline as well. He's cutting in, he was drifting, he was everywhere. You know what I mean? Harvey Barnes, okay, not his greatest of games. I know his missus gave birth a few days ago, so maybe sleep deprived and all that stuff, and having to play because of the absence of Gordon. But again, he was getting to good positions. Unlucky with the offside when Murphy had that goal disallowed. He had a good interchange, I think, with Bruno in the second half and stuff. So listen, people were getting on his back, but at least he was trying. Bruno wasn't his best performance, but we're going to give him a blab with that because playing at high altitude in midweek and the long journey back, it's going to take him a while to get up to speed. So we can allow him this one. But the one I do want to talk about is Sandro Tonali, because if you see my content on 90s Mags, me and the boys have been screaming about this guy ever since he signed. Yeah. And we said he will become our most influential player and the team will be built around him. And you're beginning to see that now. He's taking on more of a leadership role. He's more vocal. I like that he's now taking more shots at goal. He hit the post in yesterday's game. But to me, in that position, he's one of the best in the league. Yeah, I know people talk about Ryan Gravenberch, Caicedo, but he's definitely up there. For me, I wouldn't change it for anybody. Yeah, I think he is now our best player. Now that Isak's gone, I think it's clear to see that he's our best player. And listen, Bruno is phenomenal. I'm not taking nothing away from him. He's our captain, but the ground that this guy covers, yeah, the energy, the skill of the passing, the way he can dictate the play. Listen, if Bruno's absent, he should be our captain. You know what I mean? He's that good. He's that good. And they're talking we need time now to new contract. I agree, but we've seen. Listen, contracts mean nothing nowadays. But let's enjoy him while he lasts, because he's got ambitions to go to the top. And if we don't match his ambition, you know what's going to happen. But it is what it is. But yeah, credits to Tonali. I thought he was the best player on the pitch. But listen, let's get to it. The man of the moment, Nick Voldemata. Yeah. First of all, debut goal. Yeah. What a header. Some will say Shearer-esque. And some will say our previous main striker wouldn't be able to do that. But the movement, he didn't have much to look at before he got his head on it. The accuracy, the power that he got on it. Listen, and a great cross by Murphy, by the way, as well. And, that settled the nerves because, we said we didn't want to put the pressure on him. He's going to take time to get used to the Premier League. So this will give his confidence a much needed boost. And listen, his overall play impressed me. He was dropping deep. He was linking up play. And I said he will get the best out of our wingers. The likes of Murphy, Elanga, Gordon and Barnes. I think the way he plays, I think he's going to get the best out of them. And, he was dropping wide, creating the overlaps on one side. He was defending, tracking back. I think he bullied one of the Wolves players off the touchline in the second half. He was everywhere. And you can see how good he is, the silky skills with his feet. And, he can pin a defender back. He's not afraid with his back towards goal and stuff. Listen, I think based on that, yes, it was Wolves, so we're not going to get too over the top with it. But based on his performance, very promising. Very promising. I'd like to know what you guys think about how many goals he'll get in the Premier League this season. Because, listen, he's got the next few weeks to be our main striker with Bissett out. He's fully capable, like he's shown. It's promising times for us, man. Promising times. And, a certain record by yet to hit the ground running. We could striker-wise, we can't relate. You know what I mean? He's done his confidence no end. I know he came off of 65 minutes, but I think that was planned. He was cramping up, but that's to be expected. He's not used to the physicality of the Premier League. But yeah, man, enough to keep the Toon Army happy for the day, and obviously we prepare for Barcelona, which is going to be obviously a tougher test. But we'll address that a later date. But yeah, let me know what you think about this one. Where do you think we could improve? Are you concerned? The likes of the people missing, the bench. We didn't have much on the bench in terms of quality with 3 players out. But listen, to me, it was all about the result, not the performance, because we performed well up until now, but we needed the win. Now we've got the win, we can push on. We've got a tough few games coming up, but we're in good nick, pardon the pun. But yeah, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend, and I'll be back soon. Peace.